Hello, everyone. In this video, we will introduce the super keyword. We already used this keyword. This refers to the calling object itself. The super keyword refers to the superclass. There are two ways to use the super keyword. One is to call a superclass constructor, and the other way is to call the superclass method. So let's look at these two ways. First, calling a superclass constructor. So you can use super without any arguments to call the superclass no-R constructor. Super with arguments to call a superclass with the specified arguments. For example, in the Superclass, we have this constructor, so-called radius, color, and field. We can invoke the geometric objects constructor with the specified color and field using super. And then this is this dot radius is assigned with the radius here. The superclass methods are inherited in the subclass. The constructors are not inherited, but the constructors must be called either implicitly or explicitly. Now, if you have this constructor here, it's the class name. This is the same as you have to call a super right here, the super. By default, if you omit it, and this is going to be super, the superclass no-R constructor is invoked. So when you write the code like this, you omit it. You are implicitly using the superclass no-R constructor from this constructor. Now, in this subclass constructor, you invoke the constructor with the specified arguments. And if you don't have any call to superclass constructor, and by default, you still have this super with no R constructor. So the superclass constructor is either called implicitly or explicitly. Now let's look at this example here. We have this faculty extends employee, employee extends person, and the person is right here. So in this faculty public class, we have this main. So now we're creating a new faculty. So what happens? You're going to invoke this constructor, the no-R constructor. But before you can execute this line, you have to call the superclass constructor. That's it, employee. Employee has no R constructor, so that's the one. For the employee, you have to first call this. Look, there's a this right here. So this is now invoked. And then this is the employee constructor. So there's no this and no super. So this default is the superclass no-R constructor. That's for the person here. Employee extends person. So this is invoked. So now which line is printed first? This is the one. So that is the, and we can look at the animation here.
program starts the execution from the main method. The statement invokes faculty's no-argument constructor to create a faculty object. The faculty's no-argument constructor is invoked. Faculty's superclass employees constructor is invoked. Since the first statement in the constructor is this string, which invokes the employees constructor with a string argument, the employees constructor is invoked. The employees superclass person's constructor is invoked. The statement displays a message.
Now, you see how this superclass constructor is invoked. It is like, it's called a constructor chaining. So it goes along the chain all the way to the top. So here we have these three classes: faculty, employee, and person. So what you do in order to create a faculty, you have to go to create employee, and employee creates person. So that is how this constructor chaining works. So we use this diagram to illustrate it. The faculty, to create a faculty, so you go for employee, and employee has this, so you have to go to the another constructor of employee, so with this arguments. And then you invoke from employee, invoke a person. After person is created, go back to the employee, this first line, and then perform employee's tasks. So this is how it is called. It's called constructor chaining. Let's look at this code. What is the problem? We have this apple extends fruit. In the fruit, we have this fruit has this constructor with the argument. Now for the apple, no constructor is explicitly defined. So there's a default constructor, there's no-R constructor. That no-R constructor invokes the superclass no-R constructor, but the superclass fruit does not have a no-R constructor. So that is going to be a compile error. Here's a design guide. If possible, you should provide a no-R constructor for every class to make the class easy to extend and to avoid errors. Now let's see how we call superclass methods. So use super dot method. So now see why we need it. So look at the print circle here. This is the inside the circle class. So the circle is created. So now get date created. So this is actually, you don't need to have explicit super. It's automatically inherited. There's no ambiguity. But we may need this explicitly using super, just like we explicitly using this when there's a conflict. So we're going to see it in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next video.